Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto. It is April 27th, 2022, 8:30 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? In today's content, we will basically talk about Ethereum. We haven't talked about Ethereum on the macro view, the macro directional move for a while. So we're just going to, review the directional move. It is still the same. It is still following BTC. No sign of a macro reversal, right? So we still, we're still going to be staying with the downtrend over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. Okay. So in today's content, we're going to start it with the 10-day time frame. We most of the time don't talk about the 10 days time frame, right? But I see something like very interesting, which is the curvature right here on our MACD, right? So if you guys recall, we talk about the how important it is like to pay attention whenever we get the type of a structure like that in MACD. Whenever your MACD does something like that, okay, a very strong reverse or something like that, it tends to basically show like, hey, be ready. We're about to get a high volatility price action. The time frame doesn't matter, right? You can sometimes see it on the 3D, sometimes you can see it on a daily, sometimes you can see it on the weekly, on the monthly. It doesn't matter. You just sometimes just have to search for it, right? When market is trending down after a pullback. Okay, one of your time frame will tell you, hey, check out your MACD. MACD is basically looking to looking to be very aggressive over the next like a few days and so on. Okay, it could take weeks, right, to complete the downtrend and all that good stuff, but it is a very important pattern to pay attention to whenever you see it, even to the upside. When, let's say, you got your blue line, your MACD pushing to the upside, something like that, something like that. Okay, MACD is pushing to the upside, and all of a sudden you get a reversal, right? And you're thinking like you're going to get a crossover, and it basically gives you this pump to the upside. So this type of price action, it is also on the upside. Okay, when we go into the upside, it is also a very aggressive. A very aggressive bullish pattern. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you get it like on the downside or on the upside. It really doesn't matter. You just want to see the type of contraction. Okay, and we talk about those contractions in terms of like moving averages. Let's say your 21 EMA, okay, it is getting rejected like that by your 100 EMA. Okay, so let's say your 100 EMA, this is your 21 EMA, right? And you get your 100 EMA doing something like that. Okay, repulsing each other's, right? So we most of the time we tend to see this type of price movement, and it is a very negative momentum whenever you see this type of repulsion. Okay, so it means like the trend is reversing in terms of your moving averages and all that good stuff. Okay, so that was the most important thing to keep an eye on Ether. The 10-day time frame showing like a strong divergence right here. We talked about the divergence back in December, right here, the first week of December. We didn't talk about it on the 10D, but we talk about it on the weekly and on the 3D time frame, right? So we don't need to spend any time talking about the divergence and all that good stuff, but it is something like to keep in mind, especially after the weekly divergence. We talk about it right here. So if you take a look at it in term of RSI, right, we got our rejection line right here, right, on a weekly basis, and we're getting another rejection right there. So you take a look at it right here. That was the top back in May 2021, and that's the top right there back in November, the first week of November 2021, and we got another move right here March. So nearly every five, I would say like 5 to 6 months, we retest this trend line. Okay, so that was like May, November, you got like nearly 6 months, right? And then after November, you got another one in March. So let's say 4 months. Okay, so 4 to 6 months, we tend to retest the trend line. So as long as we stand below the trend line right here, we might not be in a bull market. So if you take a look at it right here, back in 2018 and all that good stuff, we did have a very elongated trend line, something like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we did not go bull until we basically until we basically cross above it and even retest the same exact area right here, just about like a 46. So 46, it is a neutral, you could say like neutral or even very aggressive area, but depending on volatility. Okay, so we need to basically break the downtrend in order to get another macro reversal. Okay, something like that. Okay, it could do something like that or even retest it and push to the upside. Okay, the volatility going to be once we start to trade above like a 60, right? The upside volatility and price action above our weekly 25 MA. We talked about the weekly 25. We've been talking about the weekly 25 MA over the last few months. Okay, so it is not something new, and it is a very easy strategy. Like let's say you just want to trade Ether, swing trade it like a 6 to 12 month or even 2 years time frame, right? It is a very good strategy to pay attention to. Whenever we above it, it is a strong add-on or a strong buy area. Okay, and whenever we below it, right, you just have to be very cautious. Okay, pay attention to your 3D and all that good stuff. Okay, yes, you got to incorporate it with your other indicators. Let's say, for instance, right here, we did not wait for the price to break below the 25 MA because we were following what the 3D time frame. Remember, the 3D time frame was telling us, hey, it is time to get out, right? MACD is negative right here, right? Price action is struggling to stay above the 25, above the 21 EMA. So if you take a look at it on a weekly basis, you're going to be like, hey, since like our 3D time frame is telling us we're about to cross, we're about to dump, right? We could anticipate Ethereum to break below the 25 MA. Okay, so that was my thought process when Ether was right around like a 4100. So, and at the same time, our thought process as of now, it is still the same. We're below the 25 MA, right? Ether is not looking that healthy. BTC is not looking that healthy. So we got plenty of room to cover to the downside all the way down to our July lows. Okay, July lows, if you take a look at it, somewhere around like a mid 1700 range. So I'm not saying like we will get there in April, right? So it is hard to time the market, right? We can just time these moving averages, but we cannot basically time the market and all that good stuff. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind, right? So once we get down to 1700 range, we will basically wait for like a few weeks or even month because it could basically move sideways right here till September, October, and make a decision of a push to the upside or even a retest of 1000. We don't know, okay? But one thing we just want to do is like keep an eye on 1700 range up to even $2000, right? For a sideways correction for like a probably like a 2 to 3 month, depending on volatility. Okay, anything can happen. I'm not saying we will move sideways around like the low 2000 for like a 2 month and all that good stuff. But it is always good to have a plan, and if that plan doesn't work, right, we can always readjust. But the hard thing is like not to have any plan and just saying like, okay, we're going to dump down to 1700 range and we're going to be looking for $1000 the next week after that. Okay, as you can see right here, we talk about the weekly 100 EMA, right, and how important the weekly 100 EMA was for BTC. So we retested the weekly 100 EMA on January 24th. You got January, February, yeah, February, March, April, 90 days. Okay, it's been 90 days already, over 90 days. We're still above the weekly 100 EMA. So you take a look at it on a monthly basis also, right? We got our, we got our monthly 50, we got our monthly 50 right around like a 1500 range. Okay, so it could be price action could just sit right, right around the monthly 50, right? Because we could break the monthly 21, and once we break the monthly 21, we don't have any other moving average like a macro moving average to pay attention to, and we got a good confluence. Okay, we got our 1700 range, and at the same time we got our monthly 50. The monthly 50 within the next couple of months could be somewhere around like 1700 rank. Even if it doesn't retest it like on the next drop, right, it could retest it like, let's say, in June, July, or even August. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is like, let's not be like a too bearish too quick and basically anticipating like a price to dump like in a vertical line. Okay, so I don't see a vertical move, right? I'm not saying it won't happen, but I don't see a vertical move. Okay, so if we stick to the higher time frame, the monthly time frame, you can see like MACD, it is still pointing down. Our divergence right here, it is still in play, right? So we had the divergence right here, right? So between April and November, right? And if you take a look at it, the same type of a flat correction we got right here, that's the one we got also right here. Okay, so I love Ether, but if we see a downtrend, right, we just have to stick with it. Okay, not try to be bullish like when market is showing like a downtrend, because we're going to get plenty of opportunities to basically reaccumulate. It could be 6 to 12 months or even 18 months. Okay, if you recall Ether right here, September 2020, I was saying like, guys, let's just suck it up, let's not short Ether. Okay, and that time, I wasn't even very convinced like BTC will break above all-time high. But back in September, I was like, okay, it's no way Ether is bearish as of now. Okay, and we were very bullish on Ether from the $300, $400, all the way up to a $4,000. Okay, over $4,000. So we could get a good macro reaccumulation for the next like a 6 to 12 month, right? Or even 18 months. And after that, once we get our bottom, right? The bottom, we could even retest it like a twice. We could, retest, let's say, anywhere around the monthly 50, pump back up, retest it, and even go for like a 16,000, 20,000, and all that good stuff. Okay. The macro view based on Elliott wave looks very, very good, right? Based on Elliott wave, if we just change the topic very quickly, you can see like that entire move right here could be wave one, and that's our wave two right here. This could be our wave three, wave four, and possibly wave five, all the way up to even like a $30,000, depending on volatility and all that good stuff. Okay, so Ether macro view looks pretty good in terms of Elliott wave, but the short term time frame, let's say 6 to 12 months, is not very compelling. Okay, the setup is not looking so good as of now, so we will need to basically be very, very patient. I just wanted to make sure we're clear with the direction. It's not to say I'm very bearish and all that good stuff, because you guys remember in a bear market back in 2019. Okay, 2019, I was very bearish, started like July. Okay, and we hit all our target, but I just don't want to be extremely bearish, and most people are going to be panicking and all that good stuff. But we will just follow the direction, because if you buy an Ether, you're not buying Ether at 2,000 just to sell it at 3,000. Okay, you're not buying it at 1,500 just to sell it at 3,000. Okay, if I'm buying Ether anywhere below 2,000, I'm looking for like a 20,000 or close, 15 to 20, 25,000. Okay, so something to something to keep in mind going forward over the next like a few weeks, because we got a new quarter. It's been pretty slow. Price action, it is still above 2,800, 2,850, which is the lower range support, and the higher range resistance, it is somewhere around like a 3,150, even though it pumped to a 3,500 range just to retest the 25 MA on a weekly basis. Okay, so that's the same moving average on a weekly basis. Okay, it just stay constant. It doesn't matter which time frame you use, right? You just keep it constant right there. So you can see it like even on a monthly basis, that same moving average, right? It is it is giving bears, I mean bulls, a big challenge to stay above it. Okay, so keep an eye on it, right? Over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months, right? Until we get a clean directional uptrend. All right, guys. Just wanted to keep it very short for Ether, macro overview and all that good stuff, right? And next time I'm gonna update the Fibonacci supports and all that good stuff, right? But as of now, we're just going to stick with the 17 to a $2,000 range for the next like a few weeks and all that good stuff, right? And the next Fibonacci after that going to be almost $1,000 at 382, but we can't basically be so sure we will get there, that easily, right? All right. And once again, we'll discuss the $1,000 once we get more data for a possible retest of it, right?